Mhm. Good morning, good afternoon, good midday, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day number 42 of my 45 days live. Day number 42. Can you believe that? It's been almost 45 days, a month and a half. It felt to me at the beginning like a month and a half was a very, very long time. But time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so very much, all of you who checked in, who have been following me these last 40 plus days. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. I look forward to having you on the lives that are coming, on the programs that I'm going to do, and within the Women's Leadership Circle. It's Sunday evening where I am in the islands. It's Sunday evening, and I am preparing for the week. Like everybody else, I'm preparing for a week. On Mondays, I do a radio program here in Montserrat that I call Brain Power. And so on Sundays, I spend the time finalizing things and putting the last bits and pieces in place. And I'll be doing that this evening. I call it Brain Power because, for two reasons, this particular program. One, because I'm a woman doing it, and so much of the world is convinced that women have limited brain power. Some places think we have none at all. And I did it also because this little island of mine is desperately in need of people applying their brain power to moving us forward. I might have told you before, I'm not quite sure, might have told you that this little island of mine, Montserrat, 27 years ago, 1995, endured an eruption, a volcanic eruption that pretty much continues. Not the volcano itself. The volcano has not erupted since 2009, I believe, but it was in pretty constant eruption for a good 12, 14, 15 years almost. The first few years were really dreadful, terrible, painful years for my people. We lost our major town, our port, hospital, secondary school, technical college, university center, all kinds of things, our legislative buildings, our major infrastructure, and our airport and our seaport. And it was such a desperate situation, and it was a situation that was unfamiliar to everybody. And so what happened was that people left the island. Many people, most people left the island, and with their children. And of course, most of them will not come back, have not come back, and will not come back, because that's the nature of the game. They've moved away and built lives elsewhere. And so we are right now, our population is about 1/3 of what it used to be, and it wasn't very much to begin with. Right now we're down to 4,000 and something, and it used to be 10, 11, 12,000. It's a beautiful little place. It's a beautiful little place. Today's a beautiful day. It was bright and sunny earlier. It's a sultry evening. It's a little bit overcast. It's still a little bit of a breeze. The air is quiet. The island's not quiet. The tropics are never quiet. You know that. If you listen to my live, if you listened to me a week ago, you will know that tropical nights are not quiet and tropical days are not either. So, but the air is still, not still as in dead air. because I can see leaves moving, but it's quiet. It's a nice quiet evening, and I like these quiet, sultry evenings. I went to the beach today, spent some time in the sun, get my tan, getting all nice and brown. And I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about tonight. I have been taking notes and I have been sketching out and planning out some of the things I wanted to talk about over these 45 days. Many of them I did, and there were other things that I had not thought of. I had not initially planned that I ended up talking about, which, because they came up in the conversation, they came up in the progression of the live, because the way I see it, it's been 45 days of me constantly thinking about this. So even when I'm not on here, it's in my mind. I'm thinking and I'm picking up ideas and bouncing ideas and looking at what I could or could not, should or should not share. And so today, when I was at the beach, I was thinking about this. I was at the beach by myself. It's so easy to be at the beach by yourself in Montserrat. Literally, you alone. Some people came by. One person came by, went away. Then two people came by, went away. But for the rest of the time, I was there entirely by myself for like 2.5 hours. It was beautiful. And I was thinking about tonight and thinking about tomorrow, my program. And so I thought tonight I would talk a little bit about women's brain power, women being smart, and women having the courage and the determination and the moxie to show that we are smart, to not hide behind our smartness, our capability. And when I say smart, I don't just mean intellectually smart. I mean smart, period. Smart about all kinds of things. Street smart, academically smart, spiritually smart, financially smart, all of those things. And I was thinking, for example, about Serena Williams, who has decided that she's retiring, perhaps, because she said something yesterday about, I've always loved Australia, when she was asked about the Australian Open. She's retiring. She has been top of her game, even when she wasn't at the top of her game. She's been the person to beat for years, 2 decades or something, and more than 2 decades. She's been playing since she was a teenager, and she's 41 now. And she has had some difficult times. She's had some difficult times. One, because she's a woman playing professionally, and is a woman who had began to demand that she be treated like as a professional, just like the men were. She's a Black woman playing in tennis, and she's a woman playing in America and Europe and Australia. A Black woman playing tennis at the top of her game in England and America and Australia and all over the world. And so she has had to endure all kinds of things, racist and sexist pushback. It didn't stop her. It never stopped her. She kept working, kept practicing, kept her game sharp, even when she was pregnant, even since she's had a child, even though she'd had this serious illness while she was pregnant. And so, I find it instructive and inspirational when I look at stories like hers, because so often, so much in this world, it is still the accepted notion that women, we're not serious about anything we can't be, we're not capable, even in places where women have shown their capabilities. So, even with Serena having shown her power and her capability, there still have been, she's still in many ways treated as if, she's not quite much. And it's a delicate, ticklish thing to talk about. And I want to be careful about these, but I want to be careful about these topics. It's important to be careful when we're talking about these issues, because it's important to be clear, and it's important that we make ourselves understood. When I spoke earlier this week about women having men understand how much it is to their benefit that women be empowered, that women be able to step into and access and use our power, I'm talking, it's the same thing in the instances like this. It's the very same thing. This is not about men, it's about an industry. It's about people with authority and power, not just over women, but over this. I'm saying institution, the institution of sports. It's not an industry. It is, but it isn't. And how much control they have over people's lives, and how difficult it often is just to get through, and how much more difficult it is for women, and how much more difficult it is for Black women. And I am kind of sort of at a loss for words, to be honest. I'm sort of at a loss for words, because there's this powerful woman who is ending her professional career, her professional sports career. And there still are conversations. I've been reading the articles over the last week or so since she announced that she was going to retire the last days. And I'm still seeing the doubt and the questions and the disrespect for her as a woman, for her as a professional, for her as a Black woman. I see also the standing ovation she got yesterday, for example. But I'm aware that is only one part of the story. And unfortunately, it's not even one half of the story. The real issue is that for women, no matter what industry we are in, no matter how well we do, no matter how well we do what we do, the questions, the doubt, the disrespect maintained. It still exists. It still is there. People still think it is okay. And so the only thing that women have with which to rebuff that is capability, is always having to be 10 times better than everybody else. Is always having to be 10 times nicer, kinder, more sensitive. We've seen how many times Serena has she's got fined and reprimanded for her behavior on the court. We've also seen men do some of the same stuff and even worse and get nothing or nothing compared to what she got. And this happens not just in sports. This happens across the board. This happens in politics. It happens in academia. It happens in sales and marketing. It happens in nursing. It happens even in those industries, those sectors where women, which are considered women's sectors. And like I said, the only thing women have to push back with is constantly having to keep working to be the best, to show that we are what we say we are. We don't get a break. And that, there's a word that my mom used for this courage and this determination that women and girls have had to always rely on. She called it moxie. My mother, you talk about women who had moxie. Serena has moxie. Serena Williams has moxie. She stands up and she fights back, and she's determined to be good and to show that she's good and to not back down from being good. To show that she's smart and not step back and pretend not to be smart. I had this issue with my niece when she was younger. We had this conversation about this because, of course, she got the same messages we all got. And I told her, no. No, you don't let the boys win just because boys are supposed to. No. If you're good, you're good. Don't lose a game. Don't give up a game to make boys look better, feel better. No, don't do that. That little thing there requires courage. It sounds stupid. It sounds ridiculous. But to acknowledge that you are smart and to show that you're smart and to express your intelligence and your capability and your professionalism and just that you are good is could be frowned upon, could be in this day and age, we could still say, no, don't. It still boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. And so what I would like to do tonight is encourage, advise, recommend, not suggest, recommend very strongly that whoever you are, wherever you are, woman, girl, pull your moxie out. Pull your moxie out. Stand up. Be seen. Be heard. Show your skills, your capabilities, your abilities, your capacities, your gifts, your talents. Use them. Use them without apology. Develop them and use them. Develop them and use them in service of the world without apology, without restraint, without fear. The world needs women's capabilities. The world needs women's moxie. The world needs women to be smart and show that we are smart and capable and competent. Let's do that. Let's do that. Begin to do that. You can start wherever you want. Start slowly. If you're in an environment where it is really, 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 really frowned upon, there's some place where it is actually dangerous. I'm aware of that. So do it inside. Do it in your personal. Do it in your private. And let it grow and expand. And build your courage. And let other little girls and women see you, hear you, feel you, being courageous, being determined, standing up, using your gifts, your talents. Let them see you. When they see you, they'll pull their moxie out. It's inspirational. One of the things that kept coming up over and over and over again throughout these 45 days was women saying to me how courageous they think I am. Some of the things that I've talked about and some of the things that they've gone through my social media and they see. And what I know is that it is the most fulfilling thing, the most gratifying thing to be able to stand up for something, for someone, stand up with courage, stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, explore, expand, develop, engage, and enjoy your abilities, your competencies, your gifts, your talents. There's nothing like it. And women should not be denied it. It shouldn't take moxie. It should be just normal and everyday and natural, but it isn't. So until then, let's be courageous and bold. Let's behave, let's act with moxie and let the world see more and more and more women's capabilities, women's competencies, women's abilities, gifts, talents. I keep saying them over and over and over and over again. Show the world what you got. Show the world what you have. You have it for that reason. I'm going to prepare my program for tomorrow, Brain Power. I will see you tomorrow on day number 43. Until then, take good care.